Recently, I made a video about the Amazon Vine program, taxes about what I learned speaking to multiple CPA and accountants. I wasn't able at the time to speak to anybody via the IRS, and many people had comments all day about why I don't understand and so on and so forth. However, I just didn't pay any mind because they're not the IRS. So I actually spoke to the IRS on two different occasions because the first time I talked to somebody, the line hung up on me and I tried to get back into the queue, but it took forever. I think that the hours started to weigh against me. So I called bright and early the following day and I got through and I actually got to the department, which is called something underwriting department, that is the computer matching system for when a company sends a 1099 or W2 or whatever to an individual, it matches everything up. I got to that department and I'm so thankful for that agent who actually transferred me because she understood the frustration I was experiencing and she was trying her hardest to figure out the best solution and she gave me to the right guy. So he also provided to me how I can go about filing an amended return because it will come to their office, and he told me what I should and shouldn't do because when they get it, they don't like certain things, and there we go. Okay, so here is more context. Everybody I spoke to in the IRS asked me verbatim, what is your relationship with Amazon? They are giving you this 1099 NEC as if you are being treated as an independent contractor. What does your contract say? I do not have a contract with them. I am not a independent contractor because they have not once ever informed me or stated to me in the terms of service or the FAQ that I am an independent contractor. And per my knowledge and reading the forms on the IRS website, you are considered an independent contractor when you are performing a service for the company in the Vine program. I am a seller. I am a Amazon Vine voice, and I'm also an Amazon influencer. I have access to things many people who watch this video or also in the Vine program don't have access to. I can see the seller side. On the seller side, the sellers are the owners of the products, never Amazon. The sellers are keeping their products in the Amazon warehouses because they have to have FBA on their products so Amazon can ship the products out to the actual Vine voices. Why? Amazon charges the actual sellers $200 for their ability to reach out to us. Amazon wants to be that middleman so that the sellers do not have direct access to us. They claim it's for, protecting of privacy, but it's literally so Amazon can keep charging these companies and these mom and pop shops that sell on Amazon $200. So, how can I provide a service to Amazon if Amazon is not the owner of the products? Each individual company that I receive a product from is who I would be perceiving, I would be giving a service to if that was the impression. Okay. Now they ask me as well, is Amazon paying you? No. When you become a part of the Vine Voice program, is literally saying, hey, we're going to give you free products and we hope you give these sellers an actual review. There is no talk about the product becoming your payment or any payment of any sorts. Now in the FAQ, and I did read off the FAQ and I did read off the terms of service, I did specify everything they said. And in the FAQ, it states about, you will get a 1099 NEC if you have payments over 600 or this and that. And that's literally copied and pasted from other things because there is no payment. There's never any payment with the Vine program. But again, they have to follow through with making sure they have verbiage listed so that the tax authorities are happy. And when I explained to them and gave them the little line that Amazon put on there about why we are receiving a 1099 NEC, they all five of them just chuckled because it's like one of those generic things companies do to save their butt. But we as the consumer, the little man, need to do our own due diligence. And, that's that. So we're not an independent contractor. Amazon is not the owner of the products, and I'm not being paid. In the IRS's eyes, per all five of them, this is not a service. And this is literally a company sending out free products in hopes of getting some type of exposure. You're just reviewing products. Where's the service in that when there is no, hey, I want to hire you, or hey, I want to make sure that we have an agreement between the seller and I. We don't have any of that. So there is no service. Literally, this is what they're saying to me. And from there, he stated, Well, I'm going to give you everything you need to know how to do. I'm going to also walk you through how you're going to be able to go about your taxes moving forward, as well as because you already had submitted your taxes, I did. I need to amend them to remove that actual deduction. He also asked me, well, make sure when you are doing this, you need to remove the self-employment tax, because when you file as a 1099 NEC, you typically have to file pay for self-employment tax. I said, no, I don't, because I already knew a long time ago this wasn't correct income. So I wasn't going to pay extra taxes on this. So I decided to file it as a hobby, because per the IRS website, I read all of the bullet points, and all the bullet points showed me this wasn't it. And he said, well, good job. That was actually correct. I said, thank you. And then he told me, I'm getting information which is going to help me down the long run. And the IRS is only able to uh, deal with something once we file a return. And then he was like, well, if you already knew, you got a little smart. If you already knew this wasn't the right information, why would you even file your return if the numbers wasn't right? And I was looking at him like, what? And I was like, dude, you work at the IRS. Like, if somebody does not file their taxes, you guys are going to come after us with fees and all this other kind of stuff. And I don't have time for that. So I'm going to file my taxes the right way. And then I'm going to make sure I know the law, the rules, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to say, well, I don't agree with that. And I'm going to submit as he's telling me how to do. Why? Now I know how to move forward with any other kind of discrepancy. I feel confident moving forward. Okay, any other kind of thing I don't want to pay. Okay, let me just file my taxes, pay it, and then I'm gonna come back, amend it, explain why, and see what happens. So this is what I was informed to do. This is what would happen when you do taxes for 2023. Again, informational purposes, not telling you to do this. This is exactly what I was informed. You can call them yourself and get clarity. This is what they said. So go right here where it says number 1 for gross receipts. I will need to put the exact number that is on the 1099 NEC, and just for simplicity, let's just say it's $5,000. None of this other stuff applies, so the gross income will also be $5,000. Now I need to go on down to total expenses, because I am looking to zero out this income, and I'm going to put the exact amount of what the gross was on that 1099 NEC, which is again $5,000. Um, so then he said for number 29, tentative profit or loss, and I will put here 0. And I said, okay. And then he said, so when you do this, you're basically zeroing out the income that you have reported on the 1099 NEC, and you need to follow up a letter. And this letter, basically explaining why you are zeroing out the income, and you will say it's based upon the circumstances, which, already explained. Well, Amazon, the amounts are inflated. They shouldn't be sending me the form. And also, I needed to explain my relationship with Amazon, and he told me what to say as follows. Amazon refused to give me a corrected form 1099 NEC, so I'm utilizing this letter to explain why I zeroed out this income on Schedule C. I need to make sure that I am explaining things in a small, to the point paragraph. Do not give them a whole story of like pages upon pages, because according to him, they do not like that. You will end up getting a letter in return from the IRS asking you questions which could have been explained in the actual letter, if in simplicity form, so that they can just see what you're saying and make a decision like that. Basically, he told me this is what he would receive in the department, and then that's how they like it. Simple is key, not a big paragraph. I said, okay, good, great. And so then for when you are doing a actual amended return, you will do line 1, column B, put a minus sign. So it will be basically a minus to deduct that amount from the overall number. That way it will show I'm removing this from the number of what I'm paying my taxes on, and then again include the letter to explain exactly why I did so, following the same thing he gave me for how to do it moving forward. I just want to say that I am completely done making videos on Amazon buying taxes. I have found my answer finally, and I have no reason to make any more videos regarding the tax situation unless the IRS tells me you're wrong, this is wrong, I'm following suit. They told me what to do, I'm just going to do it. And if you're not following me, you should definitely do so, because I have a lot of things happening that I'm going to be documenting and sharing along my entrepreneurial journey with starting businesses with no money and trying to make it in this content creation world. I'm going to be start doing a lot more videos on Amazon influencer and making money with videos and pictures, because that's my primary income. Managing multiple YouTube channels, how I'm managing those, getting views and making money on those as well, and so many other things that's going to be beneficial to you, or just to have knowledge about. If you ever thought about just dipping your toe in that world of, entrepreneurship or side hustle, where you're doing Amazon KDP, I'm doing that. Amazon merch, I'm doing that. Influencer stuff, content creation, like I'm doing a bunch of things. So follow along, see if anything intrigues you or helps you. And thank you for watching this video. I hope it helped you in some kind of way.